heard the important thing is that you come naked. She heard the important thing is that you come naked. My words have gotten lost in translation. I immediately picked up the phone and very slowly and clearly this time said, Eva, there's been a big misunderstanding. Fortunately, she was understanding. And to this day, we laugh about it. And I can share this story on Mass Speaker. But I learned a very valuable lesson that day, that we can never assume that what we say is what people hear. For too often, our words can get lost in translation. So whether you're doing a crazy event like tonight on April Fool's Day, thank you, Scott and Jane, for putting this together, or you're speaking at a Toastmasters club, doing a keynote speech out in the corporate world, first date, or in a job interview, if you make sure that your words, gestures, body language, and vocal variety are all in alignment, I promise you, your message is sure to hit the mark. Thank you so much, everybody, for having me on Mass Speaker here tonight.
Woo! Give it up for Two-Tone. Woo-hoo! Oh my goodness, when our words get misunderstood. Fortunately, I don't think I've been in a situation where it caused someone to have lack of attire. Great job. Great story. Let's give it up one more time for Two-Tone. I hope that you've been taking some notes, because remember, in a few more minutes, you will be voting for your favorite speaker and favorite speech. Perhaps it will be Two-Tone. Also be thinking about, who could that possibly be? Have some fun, chat among yourselves, and we are going to get ready for our second masked speaker. Lori, is our second speaker ready for this evening? Yes, absolutely. Our second speaker is Marty Graskell with an embarrassing situation. I think we just heard about one, but this, I'm sure, is about to please you, surprise you, and delight you. Take it away.
Have you ever had an embarrassing situation in which you could crawl into a hole and pretend it never happened? Madam Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters and guests, I once had an experience at work that I will never forget. It was winter, and I was in a storage closet, going through boxes looking for information. You can imagine how tiresome and weary one gets after lifting boxes and moving them around. At one point, I squatted down, and you guessed it, I stood up, put my hands on my backside, and evaluated the damage. Oh, that's really noticeable! All the while, I was thankful that I was in a storage room with no one around. In situations like this one, one's mind is spinning, and mine certainly was as I was trying to figure out what to do, as I couldn't hide in the storage room all day. Where's my phone? Oh, it's on my desk. 2 floors up! Expletive! I opened the door to the storage room, looked both ways in the hallway, then glided through the glass doors to the elevator bank and pushed the button to call the elevator. While waiting, I pranced and I paced, continually looking around to see if anybody would come through. Just as the elevator doors opened, my boss walked by the glass doors on the other side. I smiled and waved and hopped into the elevator as the doors closed, protecting me. Once I got up to my office, I called my spouse and said, I need pants right now. I hid in my office for about 15 minutes. While I was waiting, I put on my coat. Thankfully, it was a 3/4 length coat, so it just covered my backside. I made it downstairs to the lobby and stood out front, leaning against the building so no one would see what happened, and waited. When my spouse pulled up, the window to the car rolled down and my pants were thrown out the window, and I hid them in my coat and snuck back upstairs to the restroom to change my pants. I buried those torn pants in the bottom of the trash can so no one would know. When I returned to my office, I acted as if nothing had happened. Was I lucky? Or had my prayers come through that no one said a word? The only person aware of that event until today was my spouse. So I ask, if no one knows, is it really an embarrassing situation? Madam Toastmaster.
Oh, give it up for such an embarrassing situation. Or maybe not. Give it up, everyone, for Marty Grasco. Fantastic job. Any clues on who it might be? That disguise is very thorough. I noticed even the hands were disguised. Bravo, great job. I don't think that all of our masked speakers' speeches have the common theme of a wardrobe malfunction. We are starting down that path, but I think our next speaker will shift gears just a little bit. Is our third speaker ready to go, Lori? Yes, our third speaker is the court jester. April Fool's Day, a national holiday. The court jester and any joker shines on their favorite day, April Fool's Day. Our masked speaker will give you some examples of great April Fool's pranks. Take it away, court jester.
Who doesn't love a good April Fool's joke? It's a national holiday for those of us that like to play pranks. Madam Toastmaster, friends, and fools. I play practical jokes all year long. You know the usual Vaseline on a car door handle. The black electric tape on the kitchen sink sprayer that will spray you in the midsection when you turn the water on. And of course, the exploding caps that go off when you sit on a toilet seat. But April Fool's Day is the one time of year that takes planning and preparation. My spouse swore I would never get them this year because they would suspect anything out of the ordinary. On this particular year, April 1st was also Easter Sunday. And I promised my spouse that we would get up early and go to the Easter sunrise service at 6 a.m. Well, the stage was all set, but I had lots of work to do. The day before, I recorded the morning radio program that we listened to every morning. We had one of those alarms that is also an answering machine that has a cassette tape in it so you can record things. So now you know that this really happened a long time ago. After my spouse went to bed, I set all the clocks forward 1 hour. I included all of our wristwatches and our car clocks. By the way, this was before we had smartphones that display the time. The next morning, buzz, buzz, buzz. It's 5 a.m. It's time to get up and get ready to go to church. We had stayed up until midnight and the time was really 4 a.m., but the clocks all said 5 a.m. Instead of turning on the radio, I hit the cassette tape, which was all pre-recorded and gave us the time as 5:05 a.m., along with the morning news and weather and constant time and weather updates throughout the hour. My poor spouse. So they felt like they had hardly had any rest last night. When we arrived at church, the parking lot was empty. And they said, I can't believe that no one's coming to Easter sunrise service. At that point, I couldn't hold back any longer and I burst out laughing. I said, I got you, April Fools. It's only 5 a.m., not 6 a.m. Then they proceeded to argue with me. Well, the car clock says this and my wristwatch says it's 6 a.m. And I just laughed harder and harder. Well, as a consolation prize, I took them to breakfast and then to church after. Over breakfast, I explained my elaborate plan until they finally conceded that I had got them good. I have a much more elaborate scheme planned for next year, so stay tuned. Madam Toastmaster.
Oh my goodness. Court Jester, that is just about as close to evil as what a trickster. I am not a morning person, so that would not go over very well at my house. Studio audience, I hope that you are taking some great notes and watching for those clues, listening for those clues, and remembering which one is your favorite. You'll be voting soon. Our next speaker, speaker number 4, Lori is our next speaker. Ready? Oh my goodness. Fluffy is our speaker number 4, and Fluffy has a dark secret. Fluffy, take it away with a dark secret. Give it up, folks.
Stop your clapping. I realize that tonight's event is meant to be filled with mirth and gaiety. However, I have a dark secret I must confess today. Sadly, I tell you all now, I have taken life. This is something I have never shared before. I have never been brought to justice for my crimes. However, as you shall hear, most assuredly, this was done in self-defense, and I urge any of you here with law enforcement to please stay silent. Thank you very much in advance. I was working one afternoon in the summer when I was approached by 2 hooligans, armed with weapons of a piercing nature. Their countenance revealed nothing but nefarious deeds and activity. I realized that I was in imminent danger. My thoughts went to all the fluffy juniors and fluffettes that I might leave behind should anything evil befall me. So I readied myself for a fierce battle. These two vagabonds approached with deadly intent. The first lunged at me and aimed to pierce my heart with a thrust swift as Zorro. However, they miscalculated the enemy that they had come upon. I have been trained in deadly martial arts by the French master Cedric L'Entretain. I was able to easily parry the blow and deliver a forehand smack across the evil tyrant aiming to end me. I sent that one to the floor, where it lay stunned, unable to move. The second, apparently unaware of what had happened to his counterpart, came in with the same type of action. I twirled smooth as Baryshnikov and delivered a stunning backhand that also left him on the ground, writhing but unable to get up. Witnessing them in this state, I realized that to leave them alive would be a mistake, for they knew no quarter, and therefore I could offer none. So I did the most logical thing I could think of. I stepped on their heads, and with a resounding crunch, each of them left this earth, never to return. I know this tale may fill some of you with dread. Some of you may look upon me with anger and disgust. But I subscribe that all of you in the same situation would have done the exact same thing. I mean, seriously, what else would you do when two stinging wasps attempt to put their stingers in you? That's right, I said wasps. I don't know what some of you out there were thinking, like I would do that to human beings. That'd be horrible. No, these insects had it coming. I could not allow that to happen. So, I must say again, I have taken life, insect life. It's not quite as bad, and I don't hold any apology for it. I am able to be here tonight as a masked speaker due to the actions that I took. And so, as I give this confession on this April Fool's Day, I hope none of you shall hold me in ill regard as we move on to the final rounds of this glorious speaking event. Madam Toastmaster.
Thank you, Fluffy. Let's give it up for Fluffy. Oh my goodness, what a twist of events. I was very worried and a little fearful of our fluffy tail. What clues did you pick up from Fluffy? Any insights on who it might be? Make sure to take your notes and be ready to vote. Lori is our next speaker, speaker number 5. Ready? Yes, speaker number 5, Arabian Night. Arabian Night is going to present There's Still Just a Little Kid in Me. Arabian Night, take it away.
Stop acting like a kid. Honestly, I can't help it because there's still just a little bit of kid in me. Don't you look at me like that. There's still just a little bit of kid in you too, and I'm gonna prove it. Madam Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters, and guests. Now there are some things that separate a kid from an adult. For example, when you're out shopping, honey, put that back. We don't have money for that today. And the kid always responds the same way. Well, just go to the bank machine. Because we all know that the bank machine is this magical place that you drive up to and you put your magical card in the magical machine and you get all the magical money in the world. Yeah, right. Now, we may not agree on that, but there are three things that will prove that there's still just a little bit of kid in you. First of all, kids love to be encouraged. How about when your kid gives you one of those scribbly abstract drawings? Oh my goodness, is this for me? Oh, it's lovely, it's gorgeous. I have to put this on the refrigerator. And then in the next 30 minutes, you've got 30 scribbly, abstract drawings. We adults like encouragement too. Scott Brown, we couldn't have had a better program quality director to carry us through this pandemic. You kept communicating, you kept us informed, and you had all these innovative ideas like the math speaker. Great job, Scott. The second thing is kids love recess. They can't wait for it. Ring! It's 12 o'clock. Yay, playtime! We adults can't wait for recess. It's 5 o'clock. Yay, nap time! And the third thing is kids love to laugh. Have you ever played with a kid and did something that was so funny that they laughed with their entire being? And they laughed so hard that they finally recover. And what do they say? Do it again. Do it again. Do it again. 25 times. And every time you do it, they laugh as if it's the first time they've ever seen it. Think about your favorite comedy movie or your favorite stand-up comedy routine. Every time you watch it, you laugh all over again. Now, when I get a little bit down, I go to YouTube and I type in reporter swallows bug. Within minutes, my blues are laughed away. Now, disclaimer, if you don't like colorful language, please, please, please do not look for this video. So the next time someone says to you, great job, receive it like a kid. And the next time, don't wait until the end of the day for a recess. Set your alarm for the middle of the day. Go out, take a walk, stick your headphones in, and listen to a great comedy station. It's okay to let your inner child out from time to time. Start acting like a kid. Life is too short. And besides, there is still just a little bit of kid in you. Madam Toastmaster.
Give it up. Oh my goodness, for Arabian Nights. Woohoo! A little kid in all of us. Isn't that the truth? And isn't that laughter of a little child coming out in all of us tonight? So much so, my cheeks hurt, my stomach hurts, And I can hardly wait for the next speaker. Do it again. Our next speaker, our final speaker for this evening. Lori, is our final speaker ready? Our final speaker is Striped Butterfly. Striped Butterfly is going to present When Gravity Hates You. When Gravity Hates You, Striped Butterfly, take it away.
When gravity hates you? What kind of a name for a speech is that? No. Clearly that was an April Fool's joke because I am not here to discuss gravity. No. I am here to tell you the tale about someone very near and dear to me. My own parents. Yes. And about how they absolutely do not like technology. Madam Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters, and our most welcome guests, my parents are baby boomers. They did not grow up with all this newfangled technology that we have now. And they were very, very apprehensive to move forward with it. My father, thank goodness, decided that it was time for him to get a smartphone because he and my mother were going on vacation and he wanted to put the photos on the Facebook. He asked me, "Child, how do you put the pictures on the Facebook without the computer?" I replied, "Father, there's an app for that." I showed him how to do that, and now he can. However, my mother, my stubborn mother, absolutely refused to move forward with any technology. She still writes checks. She still uses a landline. And until our cruise to Alaska, she still had a flip phone. Well, my father and I decided it was time to trick my mother and conspire against her. I went home to visit my parents one weekend, and after our usual traditional pancake breakfast, my mother and I went shopping. Now, I had to come up with a clever plan to get my mother into the cell phone store without her knowing. You see, my mother, not only is she an August Virgo, making her extremely stubborn, she's also the oldest of 6 children and a former school teacher. When her mind is made up, there is no changing it. Well, I had to figure out a way to get into my mother's mind for her own good. I was thinking, what can I do? Well, once we finished shopping, I realized that there was a cell phone store in the same area where we were shopping. And when my mother exited the store, she could not remember where she had parked her car. This was my opportunity to get my mother to get a new phone. So I said to her, Mother, hand me your keys. I will find your car and bring it to you. Now, my mother never lets me drive. I have been driving for most of my life, and she never lets me get behind the wheel of her car. But that day, she handed me her keys. I asked no questions. I took the keys and I ran all the way to the cell phone store. A minute later, my mother calls me and says, Child, I have found the car. Where are you? I say, follow my voice. My mother follows my voice, and she looks at me when she finds me and sees that I am standing in front of the cell phone store holding her keys hostage. I tell her, we are going into this store and we are not coming out until you get yourself a brand new phone. She had absolutely no choice but to oblige. Oh, was she angry? However, she was able to take some amazing photos when we went on our cruise to Alaska. Fellow Toastmasters, if you know boomers, be patient with them when it comes to technology. Eventually, they will come around. If my mother can do it, anyone can. Madam Toastmaster, back to you.
Striped butterfly. Excellent. 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 I was thinking that maybe when you went to the cell phone store, that perhaps they all had masks. So she didn't know who they were or what they were doing. Great job. 6 fantastic speeches, everyone. It is time for you to select your favorite speaker and speech. You'll be placing your votes. We'll have a tally, and again, the top 4 will automatically advance to next week. Number 5 and number 6 we'll have a conversation with, and you will get to help reveal one speaker tonight. Lori, are we ready with the voting?
Yes, I think that poll will be launched in a moment.
Awesome.
Maestro, drop those tunes.
Great idea. Votes are coming in. Keep them coming. A little bit more time, anyone? Lori, are we ready to close the poll?
I think we are.
All righty. We are going to be announcing the top 4. Do I need to take some quick notes, or will you help me out with those?
I'll help you out with that.
Thank you. All right. It's almost time for a drum roll. While we're waiting to get those completely tallied, studio audience, chat among yourselves. You may be wanting to swap some hints or some guesses about who our speakers were this evening.
I have no idea.
No idea.
Anybody? Does anybody have any hints? Like, All these speakers are from our district?
Well,
Or are
Toastmasters is
they
only in
anywhere?
143 countries. That should narrow it down.
That narrows it down. That's true. That's true.
So they're not just in our district?
I guarantee every single person that you heard tonight, you have heard in other venues, in other events, in other Toastmasters District 11 events. Every single one of them you've known.
Okay, that's a good way to put it. Do we have any? Okay. The poll is closed. Lori, am I seeing a tie?
Yeah.
Okay.
Hmm.
Are we
Uh-oh.
able to? Uh-oh. All right.
You got that, Jane?
I am going to ask for Scott and Lori to place a tie-breaking judge vote. We have a clear number 1, number 2, and then things get really tight with 3, 4, and 5. Is the suspense building? Yes, it is. All right. I believe I am clear on our number 6. And Lori, would you type in the chat to me our number 5?
I don't know who 5 is then.
Jane, I sent you 5 and 6.
Did you send that to me or to Lori?
You, both,
Both?
individually.
Yeah, he sent
All
it
right.
to you, yes.
All right. All righty, we had some fantastic speakers tonight, some great mysteries, and some great creativity. Our number 4. Is there a drum roll, please, on number 4? Our number 4, advancing to the second round. One more time, Lori, will you type in number 4 for me?
I'm not sure who it is.
Okay, 1 second.
It's one of the ties. I don't know.
As the judges confer, talk among yourselves and swap those clues. The suspense is killing everyone. One more time on the music. maybe 2 more times. Almost there. Yes, great music tonight. Yes, perhaps we do all speak better than we dance, but yes, we're going to have fun with it. Scott, do you confirm the results that I typed in the chat to you?
Correct. That's exactly what I had sent to you.
Great, thank you. We are ready for that announcement then. The number 4 place for this evening will be advancing to next week is none other than Fluffy. Give it up for Fluffy. Woohoo! Our number 3 advancing on for next week is none other than Court Jester. Number 3, Court Jester. Woohoo, give it up. Our number 2 place getter, vote getter for this evening, in place number 2 is Arabian Night. Woohoo, give it up. And a drum roll here for our top vote getter for this evening, advancing on for next week, Two-Tone, number 1. Woohoo! Great. All right, studio audience, Toastmasters guests, we are ready to move into the next portion. We are going to be asking questions to place getter number 5 and place getter number 6. And you are going to be trying to reveal who they are. We could have those spotlighted, please.
Who's the other one? Who's the other one? Jean?
So we have striped butterfly. Love those wings. Absolutely beautiful wings. And we have Marty Grascal. Wonderful. Wow, that costume is just fantastic. Let's hear it for 5 and 6. Get ready. We are going to be asking some questions, and I will alternate between Marty and Striped. And as we do that, enter into the chat. Our studio audience, our Toastmasters, our guests, please enter into the chat who you think they are. All right, we are going to start with Marty. Marty, could you tell me how many districts have you been a Toastmaster of?
I'll have to think on that for a minute. I think it's 4.
4, all right. That voice just scares me. Great voice. You know what? I'm going to ask the same question to Striped Butterfly.
Thank you, Jean. That is an excellent question. I I have only been a part of one district, District 11.
All right. Let's go with another question that I will pose to both of you. And we'll start with Marty. Marty, how many years have you been a Toastmaster?
You know you're never supposed to ask anyone about their age.
Not your age,
Very
just your
upsetting
Toastmaster
question.
age.
I
I'm
will
sorry.
just say over 20 years.
Oh, okay, over 20 years. How about you, Striped Butterfly?
Madam Toastmaster, I have been a Toastmaster for 5 years now. I joined in 2016, the year of our Lord.
Thank you. Thank you. All right, and back to you, Marty. How many states have you lived in? As in United States.
Now you're really making me think. What if I lived in a state more than one time? Do I have to count it more than once?
Oh, let's just count it once.
Okay. I think we will go with 7 states.
Wow. 7 states, 4 districts. Wow, and over 20 years. Any clues there? All right, Striped Butterfly, how about for you? How many states?
I am finding that I am quite boring in comparison to Marty Grasco here because I have only ever lived in Indiana. I have
Okay.
never taken residence in any other state than the Hoosier state of Indiana.
Oh, good one. I see that Scott asked if the state of confusion counts. Or perhaps as a butterfly, there is the larva state and the cocoon state. All right. How are we doing so far on reveals? Do we think we have someone we're ready to ask them to take their mask off?
We have a couple of guesses so far. We have a lot of guest lists. I would love to see a few more guesses come into who they might be.
All right, we have so far Senator Clinton. Let's see, we have some folks who are just guestless. We have a guess on Crystal DeCarlo. We have a guess on, who else? I have another no clue. District 11 is big. Couple more clues in there. Maybe Lucy.
Cookie Monster. Cookie Monster.
Cookie Monster, I missed that one. That's great. All right, if I am looking at the results correctly, we have someone who had 2 correct votes, which reveals to me that this was very challenging, and both of our math speakers did an excellent job of disguising their identity. Our person who is being revealed tonight, who unfortunately will not be moving on next week, but who will be returning for our last grand finale, is, do we get a drum roll now? Is very creative, even down to the name, Marty Grasco. Marty, will you reveal, please? Purple hair. Here, oh,
I'm not taking the hair off.
okay. Great job tonight, everyone. So much creativity, so much fun. This is the best of the best in disguising, in laughter, in great presentations, and great entertainment. Marty Garasco, I'm seeing, oh, who is that? It's Crystal DiCarlo. Crystal, thank you so much for a great performance tonight. Woohoo!
Thanks, everybody. It was a lot of fun.
It was. Thank you. We are going to be returning to the Masked Speaker, same time next week with round 2. Encourage your friends, encourage fellow Toastmasters, and we will have 5 great speeches and more elimination, more guessing, more fun. Thank you, everyone. Any other closing thoughts? Scott or Lori?
The question again was raised, what time? They're the same time every
Yes.
single week. It is always
Over
8
this way.
p.m. Eastern Time, 7 p.m. Central Time. 8 p.m. Eastern Time, 7 p.m. Central Time. We're using the same link every single week, just like we did for club officer training. You don't have to go find a new link. To mark your calendar for repeating meeting at 8 p.m. on a regular basis for the rest of the month.
Excellent. And if you can read my background there, the dates are listed there as well as the time. Same time next week, same Thursday night, same link, and same great entertainment. Thank you, everyone, for participating tonight. Have a great evening. Woohoo! Thank you, everyone.
Woo!
Like butterfly, can you hold your wings out so I can get a good shot?
Oh, excellent.
All right, thank you.
Tell your friends, the more the merrier. The more the merrier. Thank you, everybody.
See you next week.
Thank you.
Well, that was
We still
fun.
have-
It was
We
fun.
still have a couple of guests that were not
We do.
speakers that are still here.
We do. Still a few people here.
Yes.
Still having fun. Great job.
Yeah.
I would not
Okay.
have been able to reveal those.
Mark, when we're done, I will send that to you. Have a wonderful night.
Hi, Mark.
Hi, Mark.
All right. And we're down to just masked speakers again. That was amazing. You all killed it. You killed it. My face hurts. I'm laughing so much.
It was a lot of fun.
Oh my goodness.
Oh my word. That was even better than I thought. That was just crazy off the hook good.
Oh my gosh.
Now,
I would not have been able.
now we have to completely change it for next week.
That's true. That is true.
You already have some great ideas though, don't you?
I have 3 of the 4 speeches done. I got an idea for the 4th one. Actually, I've got ideas for I'm trying to do something that is out of character for me. Speech.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, that was hysterical. That was hysterical. Carla, that was so good.
And it was
Oh,
a
that was
true story.
amazing.
Scott, it was a true story.
Yours was true? Oh my gosh.
Absolutely. Every word of it was true.
Better.
And you're still married.
Oh my word.
No, actually, I'm not married to her anymore.
Foot in mouth.
Take a speech out of them. Let me see if I can reach back in my repertoire.
Oh my word.
Oh, that is too funny.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my word.
Sorry,
Carla,
Alan.
I love the costume. I absolutely love that. That is too good.
And the screen that looks like you are actually on stage with an audience.
Oh,
That's
yes.
Yeah, that was great.
part of my reveal.
We're not worthy. We're not worthy.
Fantastic.
Well,
Oh my
I was
gosh.
blown away and I just really enjoyed it so much. So thank you guys for asking. But these guys, these speeches were fantastic.
It was off the hook.
Just fun.
Yes.
Question for Scott and Jean. Have you shared this with World Headquarters?
We've not. I asked two of the people that were the two that backed out were scheduling conflicts, and it was Melissa and Karen Isaacs. Melissa is sharing it with World Headquarters, so to kind of go like up the chain, sort of a
This
thing.
is something that Kate Wingrove, that's the manager over training, should see.
This is cool.
That's
Great
why I
job,
went to
Scott.
Melissa, because I thought something like this would kind of fit really well